Hi, welcome to Wild Cottage in Ireland. If you watched the past podcast or two, you'll know that for a couple months I was in the US due to family health issues. I was helping out. I'm back in Ireland now, and so you're very welcome. I see we have several new subscribers. Dog kisses are happening. You're very welcome here. I'm glad you enjoyed the podcast. I hope you enjoy this one as well. And to returning subscribers, thank you very much. And if you've just landed in and you're not a subscriber, I hope if you enjoy the podcast, you will think about subscribing. Give it a little thumbs up if you enjoy it, because that helps the channel grow. Anyway, so my name is Susan. I can't remember if I've said that or not. I live here with my partner Tom and our dogs, and we are in the west of Ireland in County Clare, up in the hills, and we have what I call a small holding for nature. We haven't any livestock. We have a pretty big, well, it's not probably that big. It's an 8-cow barn, but there are no cows. But we grow pretty much 100% of our own vegetables, some fruit that's getting ready to expand, and we have a natural dyes garden. And we do it all trying to be very aware and supportive of the wildlife and the wildflowers around us. So we often say this is a small holding for nature. So that's a little bit of a background about where we are. I am a knitter, I'm a spinner, I am part of the Irish Fibre Crafters group, where we try to promote the use of Irish wool and Irish, wool products in crafting. And I am learning a few other things like crochet, and I do some little scrapbooking and a bit of embroidery. But at the moment, it's mainly knitting, and that's what I'll talk about today. Okay, so I have prizes. The past 2 podcasts I've gone through, because of the family situation and all, I haven't been able to reply to everyone, although I just went through and I read everybody's comment, and I do appreciate your comments so much. And I really do like to reply, and I try to reply. It's just been that recently I haven't been able to. But what I decided to do is draw a winner from the comments from both podcasts. So as a surprise, because I didn't say last podcast that I was going to do a prize, but I thought I just would. So I'll talk about that a little farther on. And I also have a new prize for this podcast, because I enjoy giving away things. So yeah, and to enter that giveaway, just comment on this video and use the word, well, I'll think about the word and I'll tell you at the end anyway. So okay, so what I try to do is I try to put timestamps in the video and links to everything I talk about in the description box, which as long as you're not watching on a television, the little arrow, that means something rude over here. So the little arrow that goes like that, if you press that, it should drop down, and there's a description box which talks about what the video is about, and there should be the links that I talk about today. I am going to insert a little footage of me wearing this outside so you can get a better glimpse of it. Hey friends, I wanted to just quickly give you a little look at what this shawl looks like on and outside. It is what I knit on the plane. I just ended going for something that is not really a pattern, it's just garter stitch, and it's out of a really fun yarn that I got at Goodwill, and I'll talk about that a bit more. It's super cozy. Yeah, so it's super cozy. I'm wearing it with my Foxy Cardie, which is a cardie, the first garment I ever knitted, and I did it along with the Carol Feller workshop. She's the designer of it, and I totally can't remember the actual name of the cardigan at the minute, but it's part of her teachable classes. And I'll put that information on the screen. And it's super cozy, and my little button there from a button maker in France who has her grandmother's old button machine. Okay, just before I show you the shawl, actually, I thought I'd just give you a little look. So this is our wood stove. It's our main heat source in the house, and you can see we cook on it in the winter as well. And above it that metal contraption. So we have a huge big fireplace, the traditional type in Ireland, but somebody filled it in, not us. But the pipe for the wood stove goes up into it, so it works like a mass stove, so it's really great. It heats the bedrooms behind. But that metal thing there that you see, that's the old, hundreds of years old crane that would have been holding the cooking pot. So the cooking pot would have hung off of it there over the fire, not just in here, but the old original old cottage is just behind our cottage, the old stone built one that the family lived in before they built this one. So that's a really special object. So I just thought I'd point that out. Let me try to fix this a bit here now anyways. And that's our garlic drawing from that we grew. Anyhow, so yes. So the shawl, we'll go back to knitting now. So I just did, I'm not sure what would you call this shape? An elongated triangle. So I just did that shape, which basically, if you saw me on last podcast and I was showing you the shawl that I knit for my sister, and it was based off the Easy Goes It pattern, which is a free pattern by Finicky Creations, and it is on Ravelry if you're able to access Ravelry. And so I didn't do that pattern, but I did the same shape that pattern is. This is what I ended up taking with me on traveling. I didn't knit on the Venetian shawl, which is a pattern by Amber O'Brien that I talked about last podcast. I am going to start that next, but it was just a little bit complicated and the yarn was fingering weight, and I was thinking, I don't know if I'm going to see this really great on the dark of the plain. I have to concentrate. I just wanted something that was garter stitch. So that's what I did. And this yarn, I'm not sure if you can see it, but it's sparkly. And this is one of my Goodwill finds, the charity shop that I went to. And when I first arrived in the States, I found a bunch of hand-dyed yarns in the Goodwill. And just a couple days before I left, I found a bunch of other yarns in the Goodwill. Now, most of them weren't hand-dyed, but they were fun. There were so many yarns. I spoke about it in my last podcast, but there were like 10 giant tubs of yarn. And I bought a few, and you'll see them as time goes by. But this is one of them. So there were 3 balls of it. And it was this artful yarns there. And I'm hoping that's focusing. And it is 45% mohair, 35 nylon, 15 acrylic, 5% metallic. And the color was 600. Now this could be no longer available. I don't know. You know, coming from Goodwill, a lot of times they're older yarns. But it has just got the most beautiful, really kind of coppery metallic in there. I'll try not to cover my mouth when I'm talking, actually. But so I'll be quiet and I'll just try to focus this in. So hopefully focus by covering my face. It's hard to show metallics on camera. And of course, I don't have any ring light or anything here. I'm just in the cottage and hopefully the light is okay. But anyway, so it's really pretty. I feel it's sort of festive. And if you were sensitive, you'd probably find this a bit itchy around your neck, just because of like the acrylic and the metallic. I don't, and maybe possibly the mohair, but I don't find it itchy at all. So I'm able to wear that, no issue at all. But I'm going to take it off because it's warm here and I'm set right by the fire. Is one of my finished objects. My second finished object, which was really kind of a hoe when I did the last podcast, and I wore these yesterday because I wanted to try out the heel, are my socks that I've knitted out of last year's Christmas. Oops, postman. Okay, the excitement from the postie is over. So I'm just going to show you these on my feet because I don't have a sock blocker, and this is what they look like on the foot. So here we are. This is the shadow wrap heel, and I learned it from the tutorial from Denise, Earth Tones Girl, here on YouTube. And okay, I'll take them off. I did 2 different toes. So the first toe, I just did like the toe that was in her pattern that you can get on Ravelry for this shadow wrap heel. I suppose it's just a rounded toe. Didn't weave in my end yet. And then for the second toe, I'm sure you probably are familiar with Rox Knits here on YouTube. Well, she just had a recent video about this, I think she was calling it the spiral toe. And it's a toe where you don't have to do Kitchener I want to say Kitchener stitch, but Kitchener stitch, what am I doing? Kitchener Kitchener does that sound like something you're interested in, is it? Kitchener stitch. I don't have to do Kitchener stitch. Is that funny? Is it funny? Kitchener, is it? Kitchener stitch. Yeah, that's it. Okay, that's no. Kitchener stitch, you can, but you don't have to do Kitchener stitch, and I'd rather not. Also, the reason I really loved it is because you don't do the SSK in the decreases. And I found that, especially recently, I've become a tight knitter. And when I'm working with the fingering and the small needles, I find that the SSK, I struggle with getting that needle back in. So you just do the knit two together as decreases, and I think that's fantastic. Spiral. So it actually shows up better on camera than in person now that I've worn them. So you can see you have the 4 little ridges in a spiral, and then you can just close your toe the way you would close the top of a hat by threading the yarn through the loops and cinching it shut. And so I have now found my perfect sock, my perfect vanilla sock, which is to just do the shadow wrap heel and do that spiral toe with no Kitchener stitch. Happy bunny. So this is a Christmassy yarn, and it has a sparkle in, which again you can't really see, but it is from Giddy Aunt Yarns last year, their Christmas cast on set. I don't think that's focusing. It's called Smiling's my favorite, and it's a 25 superwash merino, 20 nylon, and 5% gold stellina, fingering weight to 400 meters. And they are 2 sisters that dye yarn up in Northern Ireland. I really, really enjoy their yarns, and I got their Advent set last year, which was beautiful. So I quite enjoy wearing these. I love the holidays. I'm a total, Christmas geek. I love that sort of childhood magic that it brings along. So I've started wearing these already. I have currently just one work in progress that I'm actually working on. I've actually paused, as I talked about in my other video, my Stephen West Shawlography shawl, because I was thinking, I don't know if I really like the finished shape or the finished project, because I'd seen a lot of podcasters showing theirs, but mostly they were just, showing here it is, and they weren't wearing it. And I saw one podcaster wear it, and she actually showed it several different ways, and it was Potter and Bloom, which is not a podcast that I had ever really watched, but it just popped up that way, and I love the colors because they were quite like bright and orangey, and hers looked really good, and I was like, maybe that's the difference. And then I saw a couple more, which I can't remember off the top of my head, where they were wearing them, and I was then warming up to it. So I'm undecided what I'm going to do. So we'll see as time goes by what I feel like doing. So that's not active work in progress at the minute. What is, where is it? Okay. I'm doing a gift knit for my stepmom who watches this podcast. So I'm going to say, if you don't want to see it, you kind of know what it is, but if you don't want to see it, look away now. Okay. So look away. Right. So I am making her some bed socks, because you probably saw last podcast if you watched that I made some nice loose bed socks for my dad for like literally in bed when your feet get cold. And Kathy said she'd like some too. And I asked her what color, and she said pink. So I have some pink here. And I am doing the shadow wrap heel again, and I'm going to do that spiral toe. And this yarn was the yarn that I used in my unicorn sweets shawl. Sorry, covered my face. Got little sequins in it. So that's kind of fun. I like that a lot. And I'm going to use that for the heels, toes, and cuffs. Now, I did do sort of a boo-boo because we were going to the coast and I was knitting this part as we were driving. And I continued to color, you know, from the heel around the foot of the sock. But I think that's actually cute, so that's fine. And yeah, and the other yarn is a beautiful alpaca yarn. These yarns I used in my Sherbet Fizz shawl by Amba O'Brien, which is a beautiful pattern. I'm not usually really big on lace, but that's really lovely, and I show it in a different podcast, and I'll link that below. And it's a paid-for pattern on Ravelry, and it's really fun to knit. You do need to pay attention, but it's not too line. Super fine alpaca DK, 50 grams, and the colorway is 533. But it's lovely and soft, and I think that this will do well as a bed sock because it's meant to be, you know, kind of loose and soft. So the fact that alpaca often will really quite grow, that's okay, because I don't want the sock to be too tight. And it's not a slipper really, like, so it's, you know, you're not going to be walking around. I think it'll be a cozy bed sock. And to make this little sort of ruffly bit, I just did, you know, knit stitch for a few rows before I started in on the ribbing. So yeah, so that's the first sock, and I will continue on with the second. And it's a really quick little knit as just a little bed sock. Okay, now I have something that is going to be cast on very soon that I'd like to tell you. Watching Sarah of the Day to Day Knits podcast here on YouTube, and she was talking about the staple sweater. Now, I know that sounds like staple, like a staple diet, but it's stay, S-T-A-Y, and then new word, P-U-L-L. That's the name of the pattern. I put a picture here, and I put information on the drop down bar as well. She is going to cast that on December 1st, and she's invited all of us, all of her viewers and you guys to cast on as well if you want to make that or something else. But what's really exciting about this pattern is it's bulky weight yarn, but you make up the yarn yourself if you don't actually have any bulky weight. And so you can do this really fun mix of colors by holding different strands together. And in the pattern, it's a paid-for pattern. It was $9 on Ravelry. And she talks about the different ways you can combine your weights to make up a bulky weight yarn. And it just seemed really fun. And I thought that I would take some of my sparkly yarns and my Christmassy yarns and hold them together in some sort of way to make this pattern. I wanted to show you some of the yarns with ones I think I'd like to use as a base. Now these yarns are Christmassy, very much in the way of sort of multicolored Christmas lights. So they're really quite fun. So some of the basic staple colors here are beautiful yarns that I got from Melissa of Knitting the Stash and her shop, which I've had a total brain for, and I can't remember what it's called. Anyway, but she sources yarns from local farms, and she's in Illinois, so in the U.S., local farms, small farms, and they're often breed specific. This set is from Seven Sisters Farm. It's fingering weight, 250 yards, and the 3.4 ounces. And it's from their flock of Teeswaters, Leicester Longwools, and Corriedales. And I got Peacock Blue, Hyacinth, and this is their heirloom base. And this color was the teal green. So I thought these would be a nice, you know, sort of base. And that will give me 750 yards. So I probably need another base yarn, but that's okay. Because in the Goodwill haul, my latest Goodwill haul, I got 2 cakes of this. And you can see the sparkle. And I got 2 cakes of this teal green. And I have a little bit of the Smiling's My Favorite teal green from the Giddy Aunt yarns left over as well. So I have a lot of sort of solid colors that I can wrap my mix of sparkly variegated colors around. Ooh, the sun has just really come out, so I hope that's okay. So first off, we have here from Inspiring Yarns, which is an initiative started by the girls, the women at Giddy Aunt Yarns and You Mama, Tracy, I believe is her name. Janice, Claire, and Tracy, and it is like a social kind of enterprise about crafting and mental health and community, and it's really fantastic. They're up in Northern Ireland, and they do a lot of different things now with that. And one of the things is they have an online shop where the profits help, support the social enterprise, and they have different dyers that made exclusive, colorways. And so this is from Mad Scientist Yarns. And again, I can't quite see properly through my glasses, so hopefully that focused. It's the Stellar 4-ply, and the colorway is called Psyche of the Mad Scientist, it's merino and nylon and lurex. And it's 400 meters on the 100 grams, so it's a finger. In the States, there is a yarn dyeing company, and they do patterns, and it's called Expression Fiber Arts. And every Friday they have a free pattern, so I was following their newsletter and getting the free pattern. But they also have yarn, but because I was in Ireland, I didn't ever buy their yarn. So when I was there, they had a sale on some of the yarns, and they were Christmas colorways, so I went for them. So this one is called Poinsettia. It's on their sparkle fingering, which is 60% superwash merino, 26% nylon, 10% baby alpaca, and 4% metallic, and it's 400 meters in the 100 grams, so it's a fingering. Now, on the picture, I thought it looked a lot more red, so I was like, oh, I was slightly disappointed when it actually came, because it was not kind of what I hoped for. I hoped for, if you can, like the picture, I mean, I know hand-dyed skeins, vary a bit, but that was like very different, because the skein was a lot of this deep red. And my skein is really just sort of really pinks. But that's okay, because now I'm going to use it in this April sweater, so I'm excited about it. And the other one I got from them was this one, which is the same base, and it's called The Lights Are Turned Way Down Low on the sparkle fingering. So that's going to be fun. And they go nicely together. And whatever way I end up holding these things, I think it'll be quite fun. And I have 1 or 2 more to see about adding in. This is from Felt Fusion last year, and for my Christmas present, Tom bought me their advent calendar. And the Felt Fusion is a UK dyer, and this was the main skein in that, and its colorway is called Pink Chakra. So it's a little bit blown out because of this light. It's looking a little bit lighter color than it is, but it's a sparkle as well. A sparkle fingering, superwash merino, and nylon. So yes, it's more like that. So there's that. And then I have leftover Smiling's My Favorite from the Giddy Aunt yarns, with them the socks I just showed you. And also 2 other sparkly yarns that are from, I believe this one is from Fairy Realm Yarns. Pink mini skein, and this may be from her as well. So I'm gonna do some kind of magic there and make this really sparkly and colorful holiday, Christmassy light jumper as the staple sweater. And of course it's going to go quite quickly because it's going to be bulky weight yarn. So yeah, so check out the Day to Day Knits podcast. We're all going to cast on December 1st. She was thinking she might do a live if she can figure it out, which would be great. Time difference, she's in the States. She's in Tennessee. She's Portuguese, but she lives in the US. So I don't know if I'd be able to catch the live. But anyway, I just thought I'd tell you about it. I'm really excited to do that jumper. Okay, now let's give away the prizes. The video that I did about the amazing Goodwill haul, the first Goodwill haul that I got, I showed you some yarns that I got, and I was saying I was going to give one away as a prize. And it's this one. A lovely hand-dyed yarn by Handmade Creations, which is, I believe this person's no longer dyeing, but it's their basic sock. And it's a super wash 75 and 25 nylon, and the colorway is pink zebra. This is one of the prizes, and I put all the yarns in the freezer for, it was at least 3 weeks, it might have been a month, and then I kept them in their plastic bags, and then I put them out in a warm place, and all the yarns were fine. So I have already kind of made sure there were not any moth larvae in this for you, but to be safe, you can refreeze it again. And so I have that, and then I wanted to put something else with it a while back, and it's just got the phases of the moon and blank pages, little note cards, and it's got a little, and I just thought that was really cute, and I bought it some time ago here in Ireland to just put in with prize packs. So I thought they kind of coordinated, so I'm going to throw those in together to the prize winner, YouTube comment picker. And I did a screenshot of the winner, and I'll put that here. And the winner for this one is, and I'm going to apologize because I'm not going to say your name properly, but it's Kathy K. Sorry, I did a screenshot so I could read it out, but of course the screenshot is on my phone, which I'm recording on. So Kathy, you're the winner of this little prize. So get in touch, email me at wildcottagepodcast@gmail.com. Give me your postal address and I will post that up to you. So congratulations. And then I decided, okay, I'm going to draw a different winner for something else on the podcast that I just last did, where I think it's podcast 14, where I was talking about I was going to be leaving soon and coming home to Ireland. And so what I did for that one is I had bought, again for a prize, but I wasn't sure when, from the Quirky Monday, from Kalisha of Quirky Monday Craftcast, and she's here on YouTube, you probably know her, and she's started making some bags again, and I thought they were really cute. And so I bought a bag for you guys. And this is her sunflower and bikes. Isn't that cute? So, and there's a little, it says made with love, a little heart. And then we have a little sunflower clasp as well. And then this is like a little stitch marker. And it has a box bottom. So that's the size. Like you fit, your small shawl, your socks. And it also has a strap as well as the zip, and you can clasp and unclasp. And then with it, I thought I'd throw in, I had a ball of this yarn I got in an estate sale, so I don't know if it's still available, but it's one of those Artful Yarns brands, Mystery. And this is what I had made the shawl for my sister out of. I made it out of this, and several of you commented that, oh, you liked the shawl, and I think some of you liked specifically the yarn, so I thought, oh, well, I'll give that away as well. So this set is going to go to, it was kind of fun because she had commented about the Venetian shawl and she enjoyed the Robin's Promise yarn that I showed, and she went and got the pheasant colorway. I also have the pheasant colorway, and she's going to make the shawl out of that. So that was kind of fun. So Sandy, you're the winner of this. So again, get in touch, send me an email, and I can post this off to you. Now, I am going to do another giveaway because I was going to do a giveaway specifically to celebrate my first podiversary, which was November 4th. And of course, I was just too busy with life stuff to even register that. And also, that's kind of my second knitting anniversary, my second knit-iversary too. So I wanted to do a giveaway. I have more things that I want to give away, but I can't find them because there's been some reorganization here. But I did find this, and this is really, really lovely. And I think I showed this on the podcast before when it came in. So I'm going to give this prize away now. And you probably know, and if you don't, you should check her out as well, Alexandra of the November Woods Fiber Company podcast. She hand dyes, naturally dyes yarns, and she's very much into the non-superwash yarns as well. Now, and we did a swap, and she also put something in for prizes. So she sent me her birch base, which I think this exact base, she's changed it a little bit, but it's fabulous and it's soft. And it is 430 yards in the 100 grams, and this colorway is Lilac Grove. It's really, really soft. And so I'm going to put that in. That color seems to be pretty true. It's maybe slightly more pinky lavender than is showing up there. Maybe a little. I'm putting in as well a beautiful handmade dragonfly by my friend Sandra Marshall. And this is made out of Irish wool that she has, carded and hand dyed and felted herself. And it's some other things like feather and sort of, mesh and all. But the wool is mostly Irish, and there's some silk in there. And so I thought that they're really cute together. So to enter this, I'm nearly out of battery. So to enter this giveaway, just make a comment, and in there, just if you want to be entered for this giveaway, just use the words. Say the November Woods wool. Oh, I got some Shep hair on there. Sorry about that. There's possibly dog hair on the things that I send you, so I hope you're not allergic. Just because of dog hair. Okay, so yes, so please do enter that. Life stuff. Real quickly, it's good to be home, just settling back in, recovering from jet lag. We're starting to have some cold weather here now in Ireland, some frost, but we've still got vegetables going, winter vegetables going, which is great. We went to the Seaside yesterday. I might include a little bit of footage depending on time. And but I'm running out of battery power. So I thank you so much for being here. I do appreciate your comments, and I do hope you're all well. And I will probably do a little bit of Vlogmas, which is going to be very craft, nature, and Christmassy ornament oriented, maybe some baking and cooking. Maybe once a week or so, all going well, because I just enjoy the holiday season. So you're very welcome to watch that. And I do have an advent calendar of yarn, and I'll update you on knitting progress and all as well. So anyhow, take care, friends, and I will talk to you soon. With love from Wild Cottage. So we're at the Hinch Beach. Tide is way out. It's a really enormous beach. It's a lovely place to come. And when the wind is up, there's often surfers. But it's a very calm day. Low tide. Whoa, it's somebody so excited. They're both excited. They love the seaside. They love the seaside. We're gonna go for a walk. Fish and chips after the seaside. Yum, yum. And they have homemade ice cream there too. Ice cream. I got Bailey's. Tom got rum raisin. Look, he's put a big dent in his already. And there was a wafer in the top. And Ducky's had chips. Didn't you? Or fries. Yeah. I don't think they're going to be getting any ice cream. I think we're going to eat it all. Cheers.